How's it going, guys? Welcome to Season 3 of this Detroit Red Wings franchise mode series. As you guys can see there, the NHL team has 91 offense, 93 defense, 87 goaltending. AHL team here, 81 offense, 83 defense, and 80 goaltending. So pretty good stats across both teams. The AHL team last year made the playoffs. The NHL team did not, but I think this year actually might be the first year the NHL team makes it. As you can see, the team is looking a lot better. First line there, we have Nyquist, Little, and Sam Reinhart, now at 90 overall. Second line there, we have Mantha, Wenberg, and Larkin. A lot of people are saying I should put Larkin on the first line, but as you guys can see, his role is a second line forward. The entire first line has first line forward roles, so it makes more sense to have him playing second line just to keep everyone in their respective roles. Third line here we have Athanasiou, Helm, and Grabner. I mentioned in the last episode has to be the fastest line in the NHL. Fourth line here we have Maroon, Fasca, and Bertuzzi, so pretty solid fourth line as well. Defense here we have Carlson, McAvoy, Trouba, Murray, Renski, and Sproul. Sproul actually went up a couple overall. And then goalies here we have Matt Murray starting with Ray Emery backing him up. So pretty good team overall, I think. Honestly, it's pretty balanced, a lot better than what we had at the start. AHL team here we have Svechnikov, Bracco, Sprong on the first line, Ratty, Harkins, Holmstrom on the second, Case, Vegemmo, Spacek third, and then forward, Turgeon, Grunstrom there on the fourth. Defense is also looking not too bad. We have Chabot and Green, Ouellette, Hicketts, Jones, and Juleson. And then in goal for the AHL team, we have Vavalainen with Carletto backing him up. So honestly, I'm pretty happy with both teams here. If the NHL team is able to actually make a playoff push this year, might actually trade for some assets at the deadline to help us out. Opposed to the last 2 years, we just traded everything away. Accidentally still on the AHL team here. Let me change that and I'll show you guys who the new captains are. I think I was mentioning that in the offseason, but never actually showed who they were. So I think I did mention Dylan Larkin's going to be the captain. Figured it made the most sense. You know, Michigan born and raised, drafted by the Red Wings. Just kind of makes sense. Like, he's our next Steve Yzerman. One of the alternates is still Nyquist, and I actually gave the second alternate to McAvoy. I figured he's a really good young player who's our number one defenseman, probably going to be on the team for the rest of the franchise mode, so might as well give him the A as we're going to build our defense around him. So I like those captaincies. You guys let me know what you think. Also, guys, I think I have to show you the owner goals still. So we're no longer considered a rebuilder. I think we're now considered hopeful. I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, we are hopeful. Primary goal there is to make round one of the playoffs, which I think we definitely can do. Secondary goals, team store needs upgraded. Obviously, we just have to pay the money to do that. And then boost the team chemistry by 5 to 67. If we don't make any trades for like the first few months, that should be possible, especially for winning games. So I will go upgrade the team store. And we'll start simming and see how everything goes. We're at the end of October here, guys. Off to a pretty good start. 5-3-1 record. AHL team there. 2-2-2. So obviously only a month in. A lot of time left here to see how things go. Fan happiness, though, is very good. 95. Team chemistry isn't too bad. 75. So like I said, pretty decent start. So it's now the end of November, guys. We have a record of 12-10-1. AHL team there, 9-7-2. Surprised we're actually not doing better than that. Like, I thought both teams were pretty solid, but obviously only 2 months in, you never know. Currently in a wildcard spot, though, 25 points. We're actually tied with both Ottawa and Tampa Bay, so we're like right in the thick of it. We're only a point behind Montreal. So I guess we're actually right where we want to be. AHL team here, 20 points, which is good for a wildcard spot in their division as well. So honestly, you're playing pretty good right now. I don't really see a reason to make a trade yet, but as the deadline approaches, I'll definitely be looking into doing that. So we're now at the end of December here. We have a 16-18-3 record. AHL team 14-11-4. So not doing quite as good as I hoped. Just kind of had a rough month, I guess. Really, the only injury we had was Mantha for about 1.5, maybe 2 weeks. So not really sure why we're not playing too good. Might have to make a trade, see what's out there on the trade block. Currently, though, still like right in it for a wildcard spot. We're tied with Buffalo. They must have more like regulation overtime wins. That's why they have the tiebreakers. So obviously don't want to do anything too drastic, but maybe see what's out there, just something small to improve the team. So we're now at the All-Star break here in January. Our record's 21-25-5. So really underperforming, or at least in terms of what I thought we'd do this year. AHL team, though, is playing really well, 23-13-6. Why we're not performing too well, I'm not sure. Mantha's kind of been like injured and healthy on and off all year. We are still like kind of in the thick of it, though. 1 point behind Buffalo's fourth. I don't really think they're in a wild card spot, but I guess we can check. Well, it's kind of be tough to tell. Brian Little looks to be our leading scorer. So Buffalo's at 48. We're one behind that. Let's take a look here at the Metro. So the Metro's a lot better than us. New Jersey there at 49 is actually who we have to catch. So that means we're still only 2 points out of a playoff spot right now, which actually isn't too bad considering our record. Like, we have a negative record, and we're only a win away. I'm not sure about the games played, but where's New Jersey? New Jersey's 20th. We are 24th. They do have 3 games on hand, though, so that's going to be tough to catch, but definitely is still doable. Let's take a look here and see who's playing well and who isn't. So Little, 39 points. McAvoy, 39 points as a defenseman. 91 overall. Now, I believe he was an 89 to start the year, so he is just absolutely killing it. I'm so glad we made that trade. I think we traded like Tatar, a second, a third, and a couple decent prospects, but what a steal. Reinhardt there is doing pretty good, 37. Nyquist, 28. A little less than last year. I think last year he was on pace for 70, and he put it up. This year he's on pace for, looks like, 60. Lurkin's got 25. Johnson, 22. Wenberg, 22. Wenberg still hasn't grown at all. I'm not sure why. Mantha there, he's actually been injured for 9 games, so I guess he's just kind of like constantly going off and on. That's why I think he's been injured longer. Let's see here. Who's like underperforming? Really, I guess Athanasiou, 12 points. Thought he'd be doing a bit better than that. Werenski there, 5 points. From an offensive defenseman, you'd expect a bit more. Same with True, but even though they're listed as two-way guys, they should be more offensive. Green there, 2 points in 4 games, and we called him up. Maybe give that guy another shot, but overall, yeah, the team's just not doing as good as I hoped they would. Let's just take a look here at Matt Murray, see what his stats are like. Almost 3 goals against, that is not good. .93 save percentage, so yeah, that's pretty rough. Taking a look at the AHL team here, Ty Riley's averaging over a point per game, 43 points there in 42, but the thing with him is if I call him up, he has to go through waivers, so once everyone's healthy, just be a healthy scratch. Really no point in doing that until the playoffs when it'd be like actually worth it. Harkins here, almost a point per game, that's awesome. Same with Sprong. Vegemite is doing pretty good. Shabbat, 29 as a defenseman, I like that. Holmstrom there's not doing too bad. AHL team constantly, I kind of have to like fiddle with the lines to fix it up. I know for some reason Bracco and what's the other guy's name? Spacek, they constantly scratch, so I do my best to put them in there, but unfortunately the assistant coach is kind of messing with that. So we'll see what happens here. Obviously the AHL team was doing good, so I'm actually not really too worried about what they're doing to the Lions as long as all those players continue to grow. NHL team though definitely needs some work. We'll take a look here now too and see who made it to the All-Star game from our team. I'm guessing probably Charlie McAvoy, considering he's a defenseman and he's just absolutely crushing it. So you got Jamie Benn, McDavid, Stamkos, Tays, looking for that Detroit Red Wing. Don't see him yet. Carlson, let's see here, Duncan Keith, McAvoy going to the All-Star game, so we called it. Let's see if anybody else from our team's going to the All-Star game. Doesn't look like it, but that's still good. McAvoy, like I said, probably the best trade we made so far in the franchise mode. So might have to make another one of those, as it doesn't look like the team is quite good enough yet to be a Stanley Cup champion. So we're now at the trade deadline here. We still have a negative record, 26, 29, and 7, which isn't good. Chance of us making the playoffs are pretty slim. Obviously, we're not at like the bottom of the league anymore like we were the last couple seasons, but we're on the outside looking in right now. 5 points to catch the Leafs. That's going to be tough to do. So I'm probably going to only make like a smart trade at the deadline. Not going to really be selling any assets unless it's like a UFA who I know for sure I won't be re-signing. Nor am I going to be buying any assets, so I don't really think it's worth it at this point. So any trades you make, I feel like will have to be like a smart move for both the short term and the long term, basically. So since it doesn't really look like we're going to make the playoffs, I decided to try and trade Brian Little. Obviously, we gave him that 1-year contract, hoping he'd help us make that playoff push. Hasn't happened. Pretty good player, making $8.5 million. Obviously, that's way too much. We could probably sign him for cheaper, but I'm thinking there might be better free agent centers. I'm also adding Turgeon with him just as a roster spot. I'm trying to get the Oilers' first-round pick. Pouliot's just there for the salary, $4 million, 1 year left. Obviously, we won't be re-signing him. And then Davidson here is a decent prospect, 21 years old. He's already 74 overall. Not the greatest potential, but I really like the fact he's 74 overall already. So don't mind taking him back. The value's pretty even. We'll see what the Oilers say. And they say yes, that's pretty good, especially since we already gave up our first-round pick to Buffalo. We'll still have a first-round pick in this year's draft. Try to make one more trade here, guys. Just a small one to San Jose, trading them Emery for a 5th-round pick. He's our backup goalie, probably going to retire. He's getting up there in age. He got AHL star potential, which means he's going to start regressing, 36 years old. If we can get a 5th-round pick back for him, I think that'd be pretty solid. We have to call it Vavalainen, so that means they're accepting it, so I think it's a pretty solid deal. I'm actually trying to make one more trade here, guys. After trading for Pouliot, his overall went up. I think he was like a 79 at Edmonton. Now he's already an 82, so he's got a bit more value. We're going to see if we can flip him here to Anaheim for a 3rd, retaining $1 million of his salary, which is just to keep Anaheim under the cap. But I figure, why not do this trade to get another pick in this year's draft? And Anaheim says yes. That worked out pretty well for us. 1 sec here, just gotta do some roster moves. And right here, guys, look at all the draft picks we have in this year's draft. We have the Oilers 1st, our 2nd, Anaheim's 3rd, a couple 4ths, a couple 5ths, or actually 3 5ths, 2 6ths, and a 7th. So a ton of picks here, which will hopefully make up for missing the playoffs. Those picks can turn into better players down the line, or we can just trade the prospects, whatever. But the future should be bright. Obviously, I was hoping for the playoffs this year, but I think next year should be like the start of our dynasty run. Hopefully win a few cups. So I just got finished simming to the end of the regular season, and I don't think we made the playoffs. Our record's not showing here. We'll in a second. HL team, though, 41, 23, and 8. They should be on to the playoffs. So we'll have to take a look here at the standings. Right there's the playoff tree, and I don't see our team. So I didn't think we were going to make it. I'm a bit disappointed. I really thought this year might be our first year. As you can see there, we finished 36, 38, and 8. So total points there, 80. 7 points out in the Atlantic. What do we need in the Metro for that wild card spot? So yeah, 7 points. I mean, 7 points is only like 3 wins and an overtime loss. So I mean, it's not a lot, but obviously every single team is so close. I guess 7 points is kind of a lot to make up. So I'm gonna take a look here and see where we finished in the entire league, as well as Edmonton, since we have their first round pick. So 7th last pick in the draft, or I guess depends how they do in the playoffs. Wow, so the West is much better than the East. 13th best team in the league, Calgary, didn't make the playoffs in the West. That sucks for them. Where did we finish? 26th. So we would have had the, 5th pick in the draft. Trade that away for Sam Reinhart. I'm still okay with that. Reinhart's like 22 years old, 90 overall. Put up 67 points this year, leading scorer on the team. So I think that first round pick was still definitely worth it. Behind him, McAvoy, 58 points as a defenseman. Nyquist there regressed a bit, 52 points. That's all right. I figured that might happen. Larkin there, 37. He needs to be doing better than that. Wenberg needs to be doing better. Johnson, that's pretty solid. Grabner, 31 on the third line is pretty solid. Fasca, 30. Still 79 somehow. That's like pretty good for a fourth line center, putting up 30 points. Same with Helm, 30 points. Mantha, he should be doing better than that. He did miss about 10 games. Athanasiou, 28, could be doing better. So overall, just a lot of guys could be scoring more for us. Gonna take a look here at the goalies. Murray, just under 3 goals against. Pretty rough. Just over 9 save percentage. 5 shutouts there for him. Also going to take a look here at the leading scorers in the entire league. So as you guys can see right there, Ovechkin actually led the league in scoring, 98 points with 54 goals. That's unreal season for him. 96 overall he is right now. Stamkos there, 97. Backstrom, 88. Obviously just kind of on that line with Ovi. Tavares, 85. Sagan, 85. Kane, 83. Kucherov there, obviously on a line with Stamkos. Kind of you got those duos going on, Taves and Kane. Kucherov, Stamkos, Ovi, and Backstrom. Ben and Sagan even. I think Palat might be on that line too. Tarasenko, Patrick, William Nylander, 75 points. Huge year for him. Marchesu put up 74 points. Is at 85 overall. That's pretty ridiculous. See if there's any other guys like that who are just kind of lower rated, putting up a ton of points. D'Angelo, 72 points, a defenseman for Arizona. That is pretty ridiculous. Mostly assists, but still. That is pretty unreal. So McDavid there, 71. Alex Nylander, 71. Only 83 overall. So he always does good for some reason. Always produces, even though he's low rated. Just doesn't make any sense. Also going to take a look here at our AHL team and see how they are. So let's see. Is this our team? Yeah, it is. Ty Ratty there, 70 points, 72 games. Obviously, he's having a great year in the AHL. If he gets a boost, he could definitely make the NHL team next year. Same with Sprong, 61 points. Benjamin doesn't look too bad. Same with Harkin. Shabbat, he could be also pushing for the NHL spot. Sproul's only on a 1-year deal, so Shabbat could probably take his spot, even though he's left-handed. Holmstrom's not too bad. Juleson there's an 80 now. I mean, the AHL team's honestly stacked. Like, they should go far. Svechnikov's an 80. Green's an 80. I'm really liking the look of this team. So let's get the AHL playoffs started and see how they do. So just finished in the first round of the AHL playoffs against the Charlotte Checkers, beat them in 5. Next up here we have the Cleveland Monsters. So the second round of the AHL playoffs didn't go too well for us. We actually got swept there by Cleveland Monsters. So next up is the NHL draft. So the draft lottery results just came in, guys, and of course the first time we win the lottery is when we trade our pick. As you can see there, Buffalo's picking first overall with our pick. I mean, that's such a joke. I think we finished 4th or 5th last year and got the 2nd overall pick. And the year before that, we finished 2nd last, and we actually got moved all the way down to 5th. And of course, like, this is the year we win the lottery. And it's a pick we traded. Also, Buffalo didn't have a great year. You can see they actually had the 3rd overall pick as well. So 2 of the top 3 picks. I mean, good for Buffalo, I guess. Sucks for us. Failed 2 of our 3 owner goals this year, though, of course. Missed the playoffs. And we didn't actually get the player chemistry up, even though it was up at some points during the year. I guess you have to finish with it higher. So right here for retired players, we don't have any. Our team is very, very young. Average age is probably like 25, if that. Joe Thornton, though, retired. It's a big name. Same with Patrick Marleau, Gaborik, Ribeiro, Rick Nash, Hartnell, Sharp, Duncan Keith. It's another big name. For Mets, Filipula, Burrows. Nathan Horton should have really already been retired. Same with Klo there, Ehrhoff, Hamuse. So some pretty big names. Let's take a look here. See if any big name goalies retired. Maybe Henrik Lundqvist. I'm not really sure though. Luongo and Lundqvist both retiring. Jeez, so that's a big year for goalies. Ryan Miller as well. Lettinen, Craig Anderson. Wow, Montoya, McElhenney. So It's pretty big names there in retirement. Before we get to the draft, guys, I want to first take a look at the awards. As you can see there, the 2019 Stanley Cup champions are the Columbus Blue Jackets. That's pretty surprising, especially since we have like half of their defensive core. I'm not sure how they replace that. President's Trophy there, the Capitals. Clarence Campbell, LA. Prince of Wales, Columbus. Art Ross here, of course, went to Ovi and the Hart. Ghost got to James Norris. Lady Bing went to Kane. Calder went to Alex Nylander. Saw got to Conn Smythe. Korpisalo with the Vezina. Reimer with William M. Jennings. Holden with the Bill Masterson. Bergeron with the Selke. Ovechkin with the Ted Lindsay. And then John Tavares there with the Maurice Richard. And the Cleveland Monsters won the Calder Cup. So, of course, that's the team that swept us. And that's Columbus's AHL team. So they won both the Stanley Cup and the Calder Cup. That's pretty crazy. Obviously, they had a very good season. Going to see if our team took home any awards. They didn't. Player Worms, maybe Ty Ratty won something. Cole Ulley, though, just going off for them. Shabbat there, best defenseman in the American Hockey League. That's a good sign. Hopefully he has a lot of growth. Ty Ratty also got sportsmanship. And that's it. But it looks like it's basically all Cleveland Monster players. A couple of our guys. And a couple, or this Kovacs guy who plays for the Wolfpack, had the most points. So, I mean, our HL team I did think would do better, but I guess Cleveland's just too good. So I just him to our pick in the draft, and as you can see, Buffalo took this Beck guy first overall with our pick. Medium elite left wing power forward. Obviously, we are pretty good at forward. Like, we got Hischier, Velarde, and Comtois in the 2017 draft, so not too upset about that. Obviously, I think Reinhart is worth it. Jersey here gets this Burkle guy, and after that, those were only the two elite players. Everyone else is like top 6 forward or top 4D, so maybe we can get a steal here with the 20th pick. Not looking too great, though, but you never know. Obviously, we'll check what our scouts say, and then we'll kind of check and see who's supposed to go in the first round. So only 4 guys left here, projected first-round guys. One's top 9, 2 unknown, which isn't good. One's a bottom 6. Let's take a look here what our scouts say for exact. Not good. We got a couple AHL starter goalies, some other forwards. So going to obviously base it off the projection here and just hope for the best. 2 centers, 2 wingers. I mean, high top 9 forward, he's probably a top 6. I'm going to take a risk on this Russian guy here. A medium top 6. That's pretty solid for a late first round pick. Next pick here, guys, is number 5 in the second round. This is actually our second round pick. So not looking good there in terms of potential. And still not looking good. Okay, wow. I scouted basically all like the CHL because that's where most of the players were, but they must have all gotten picked already, or they weren't that good. I'm not sure. The only player left with first/second round projections is goalie. He's got low AHL fringe. I could take a chance on him though. Like I say, he's the only one left with it. Lundqvist is his name. Lundqvist just retired. He's Swedish. Oh man, this is gonna be a risky pick. Medium starter, let's take that. Next pick here, guys, is pick number 23 in the third round. So far, I think the draft's been pretty good. Obviously, no elite player, but we have gotten some pretty solid prospects. There's another goalie here. We just got one, so we're probably not going to go with the goalie. AHL top 6 forward. High is probably like low bottom 6, which again, isn't that good. Dang. Zubov maybe? Or the McAmmon guy. We already have a lot of summers, though. Let's go with Zubov. Medium bomb 6, that's alright. So we're now in the fourth round here, guys, and not a lot of good players left. All these guys have AHL fourth line forward potential, so we really need to find a diamond in the rough, and it's going to be tough. I honestly might go with this Frost guy, just because I like his name. He's completely unknown. We're actually Hatcher here, AHL top 4D high, so maybe he's like AHL top 2 or low 7th, which is probably better than the rest of that stuff. I'll save that Frost guy for our next pick. I think we have one more in the fourth round. Let's see, AHL top 2D. That's kind of bad. Next pick here, guys, number 13 in the fourth round. As you can see, it's pretty much all AHL. The odd, like, low bomb 6 or low 7th D kind of thing. So let's see if that Frost guy is available, who I wanted to take. He was a center, I believe. There he is. Completely unknown. Please be good. Medium AHL top 6. Pick number 5 here in the fifth round. So far this draft's been pretty rough. I'm thinking I might just package the rest of my late picks and trade them for like a higher pick next year, because this draft just doesn't look very good. Playfair here, I like the name. Fifth round, high league interest. Let's go for him. Let's see. Low HL top 6, still not very good. Alright guys, so we're here making an interesting trade, trying to trade 2 5ths and 2 6ths in this year's draft for a 4th, 5th, and 6th in next year's draft, in hopes that next year has a bit better players in the later rounds. Trying to do that with New Jersey. We'll see what they say. All 3 of those picks are on the blocks. Maybe they say yes. Trade ejected. Let's try, honestly, taking away the 6th. Like, this draft is bad. I'd rather just take another chance next year. They say yes to that. So, I mean, 2 fifths and 2 sixths for a 4th and a 5th next year, and a bad draft. I feel like that's not too bad. I still have a 7th round pick in this year's draft, just to maybe take a shot late in the draft. I feel like honestly the 7th's just going to be as good a chance of getting somebody good as the 5th. Like, there really aren't that many good players left, so hopefully we can find somebody here. Pick number 5 in the 7th round. If they're any better than AHL, it'll be a success. So let's see what we have to work with there. We have unknown Peck Ford. AHL bomb 6 forward. Like, there's no way they're an AHL guy. AHL starting goaltender is really not worth it either. Let's see here. I'm thinking, I don't know, Applety, Stewart, AHL starting goalie. Like, I'm not really liking it. The defenseman, though, there's a couple there. Mac Isaac and Grolo. Okay, let's take one of the defensemen. Well, this guy is low AHL 7th D, but highly interest. Please, AHL top 2 D. So, I mean, for 7th round, that's alright. Alright, guys, we're now at the re-sign phase here. And as you can see, Charlie McAvoy needs a new contract. We have just under 22 million cap space. He wants $7.5 million for 2 years. Pretty fair for 93 overall. 8.3 for 8 years. I feel like, I mean, he could get better, honestly. 8-year deal. It's probably honestly going to cost us like the same. Like, I'm just going to offer him the $7.5 million, but ask for 8 years instead of 2. Just lock him up for the rest of this franchise mode. I'm just going to go by position now so I get a better idea of what's going on. So we really need a first-line center now and a fourth-line center. Fasca didn't grow at all, still 79. Plus we have a bunch of AHL guys that are better. Fasca will probably just trade for any pick I can. Holmstrom here to 77. I mean, we got Harkins, Blachek, Brauko. We're all better. The same age. Vegetamo is the same overall. He's already on a deal. I think I'm just going to release him. Could use the roster spot for somebody else. Same goes for this N guy. 23.75 is not good enough. Hischier, obviously, you need to give him a contract. Lock him up there. Same goes for Velarde. Both of them need those deals. They're probably not going to get playtime in the AHL, but hopefully they can grow. Hug here, 2069. Malkin, 2069, but low bottom 6. So Malkin for sure, I'm not going to keep. Hug I might. Let me see what else we have. Zetterlin there, 19 and 67. So he's got 1 year to gain 2 overall. I feel like there's a better chance of that. Going to give him a bit less money, though. Give him 750K. And I think Hug I'm just going to let go. Like, we already have so many center prospects. He's just never going to get playtime, so might as well just, like, move on from him. Looking at the left wings here, looks like everyone's locked up. Larkin actually went down in overall. Athanasiou, Grabner, Bertuzzi, Maroon there. Svechnikov needs a new deal. He's kind of like a borderline NHL guy. 850K, 1 year, 2-way deal. Seems pretty fair for him for now. Comtois, obviously want to lock him up. He should get some playtime in the AHL this year. Hopefully he can grow into, like, that 90 overall elite scoring we were looking for. Nyquist needs a new deal. Didn't have as good a year last year. Wants $6 million for 8 years. That's a lot for a 29-year-old. Let's see here. Gets a bit cheaper. I mean, 29. I'd be willing to pay until he's like 33. 6.7. Let's see if he takes 6 for 4 years. I think that's pretty fair. He's still got elite potential, which is good. Mantha needs a new contract. We signed to that 1 year deal last time. Now he wants 4.7, so he wants less than he did last year, which is good. So we'll do the 2 year deal, I guess, again. See if he gets like 4.45 for 2 years. Sprong wants a deal. He's like a fringe guy, 875K, same as Svechnikov. Lind here, 20 years old, 67 overall. He's got that low top 6, so hopefully he can turn out. That would be awesome. He was like a 4th round pick. Our defense is all locked up except for Wensky, who should be cheap to re-sign. 1.6. We'll give him, what, 1.45 for 2 years. Pretty fair. Spruill's 26.81. He got passed by Shabbat and Juleson, so I think I'm just going to let Spruill go there. Even if he was cheap, like, yeah, we got Green, Jones, so many guys ahead of him. Hickett's there is just a bit behind. Hickett's wants that 1 year 800K deal. Ouellette's 25.78. So many other defensive prospects there. Probably going to have to let go of Ouellette. Hurts to do, but I think we have to do it. Just too many prospects moving past them. Jacobs here, 23.75. That's just not good enough for a 23-year-old. We have guys that are a couple years younger and 80 already. Heiskanen, 19.73. Obviously going to lock him up. He could turn out low top 4D. This guy's 20.69, medium top 6. Should I keep him? 69. That's tough. I think I might let him go, just because we need the contract spots and we have so many better guys than him. We also have some of these guys here, like Dallin, obviously will need signed next year. Goalies here, Murray's still locked up. Vavalainen probably going to be the AHL starter again next year. Carletto will be the backup, so we need an NHL backup. This guy here, low fringe starter. I I don't know. Carletto's better, 1 year older. Better potential, I believe. Is medium backup better than Fringe? Or actually, no, Fringe is better, so I don't know. This guy's going to need a contract. I guess we'll sign him, though. The goalie contracts don't count as much, so give that guy an offer. I think that should be enough. I don't know how much cap space we're going to have. Probably not a lot, but we'll see how it all works out. As you guys can see here, McAvoy accepted our offer, so we have him signed for $7.5 million for the rest of the franchise mode. Rensky accepted. Mantha accepted. Nyquist rejected. Says he wants to win now. Doesn't think the team can do that. More money would persuade him, so that's going to really suck if we lose him for free. Definitely, I could have traded him, but didn't think obviously we are going to lose him. Hickett's accepted. Svechnikov, Lardy, Sprong, Hischier, probably everybody else. Comtois, Lynn, some other prospects there. So I think the only guy I didn't accept is Nyquist. We'll see how much money we have. We have $9.5 million in cap space, so if Nyquist is the only guy we have to re-sign, we definitely can make that happen. It's just whether or not we could get a better player than Nyquist in free agency with that $9.5 million. So especially too, it wouldn't be $9.5 million. Once we sign Nyquist, we'll have about, I don't know, $3 million left to spend. So let's see, $6 million for 8 years. It's just so expensive. We might be losing Nyquist here, honestly. Like 4 years, any longer than that, I feel it's going to hurt our team, because that's when Hischier is going to be good. Finally, Velarde, Comtois will need the money. I don't know, like I'll give him 4 years at 7, and even that seems, for an 87 overall winger, it just doesn't seem worth it. I think we might be losing Nyquist here. I don't know. I'm going to give him, he wants 6.7. I'm going to offer him 6.5 for 4 years. I think that might have been what I already offered him. If he says no to that, he says no. So Nyquist rejected our offer again, so it looks like we're going to lose him, which really sucks. I didn't even realize his contract was ending. Otherwise, I definitely would have traded him at the deadline. Could have gotten something for him, so I messed up there for sure. Hopefully we make up for it, though, and just sign a big name free agent with that extra cap space. All right, guys, so let's see who's available in free agency. Like I was saying, need to find a replacement for Nyquist, as well as a first-line center. Matt Duchene's available. That will do it. He is a year younger than Nyquist, wants $300K more, 2 overall higher. He's a first-line center. It's kind of exactly what we need here in Detroit. I would love, actually, for Detroit to go out and get him in real life, whether it's a trade or sign him when he does become a UFA. Maybe we're good by then, a couple year time. So 7 years until he's 35. That's a bit more reasonable. $7.3 million. I'd be willing to give Matt Duchene 7.5 for 7 years. He usually stays good in this game. Like, he doesn't regress too quick. Still has elite potential. New York's interested. We're giving him 7.5 though, so a bit more. 7 years. Gets to be the first line center. Hopefully he'll take that. Let's see what else is available. This Gabriel Carlson guy is available. 22 years old, 84 overall, medium top 4D. I don't even think we'd have to give a pick for him, or we'd have to give a third-round pick. So let's see how high we can go with only giving up a third-round pick. It's probably right around $2.2 million. Okay, so right on 2.2 for 2 years. I'm guessing Columbus matches that. It would be funny if we got another Columbus defenseman, though. And we really can't sign anyone else other than Carlson and Duchene if they both accept. So we're going to have to wait and see what they say. Obviously, going to check and see if there's any good two-way players available with high potential. Mackinnon here, 21.74, kind of exactly what we're looking for. We'll give him the max offer in case anyone else decides to try and snatch him up. Those guys are pretty old. Malovich here has got good potential. He's 64 overall right now at 20 years old, which isn't that great. Joiki Harju there, kind of same deal. I think he's actually the guy we let go, so that'd be kind of dumb if we signed him. Let's see, 2072 winger. I don't know. None of these guys are too impressive. 22 years old, 76 overall. That's pretty high overall for a 22-year-old, so I wouldn't mind that. Just getting him in the AHL team. Give him a deal there. Doesn't look like anyone else is interested actually. And you know what? I think Joiki Harju we did release, but I shouldn't have done it. We have enough roster spots. I'm going to kind of try and bring him back to the team here. I still got a lot of room to grow. Vorobov here, 21 and 70. I mean, low top 6D, he could turn out. Like I said, I think we have the roster spots. I wasn't really sure how many we were going to have, so I just kind of wanted to play it safe. Malovich here, again, 20 and 64. He's probably not going to reach like a good rating in time. You never know, though, so I don't know. I guess we'll give him an offer. Can we give him less than 3 years? We can't. So let's try 700K there and see what he says. And I'm looking at goalies here, guys. As you can see, Bobrovsky is a free agent, 88 overall. Obviously, he would be an upgrade on Murray, who's an 86, but $9 million. Murray costs half that and is younger, and still has some potential, so could get better. So we're looking for a backup. Cam Ward here wouldn't be too bad. 35 years old, though, is kind of old. Nielsen's 29, 81 overall. Grubauer there, 80. Pay an extra 300K there for Nielsen, who's 1 overall higher. Binnington here is 1.25. He's got some potential still, so we could get up to an 81. Save us some money. I think I might go Binnington and just hope he turns into an 81 during the year. We'll try giving him 1.25, exactly what he wants there for the 1-year deal. As you guys can see right here, that Mahovlich guy rejected our offer. Said we didn't give him enough money. I think he might be the guy I accidentally offered 700k to, who wanted 750, so that's my bad. He's really low overall. Probably won't turn out. Yoki Harju accepted, though. Hopefully that other top two-way guy accepted. Carlson rejected. Full roster. Okay, so we actually shouldn't have made some of those offers. Binnington accepted, though. Mackin rejected because we have a full roster. Okay, I'm making so many bad moves here. This guy rejected. We have a full roster. Full roster. Okay, so we need to make some trades here before Duchesne makes his decision. Right here, guys, we're trying to make a trade with Boston to get rid of some of my contracts. Fasca got tried for a fourth-line center last year, but didn't grow at all. Davidson we got back in the Oilers trade. Really hasn't grown either. Zetterlund we signed. Probably shouldn't have. Mikola here is probably like our 7th best AHL D-man, so I can definitely move on from him. I'm trying to take a chance here on Brandon Carlo, 22 years old, 79 overall, low top 4D. Morale is way down though, so his value's down. Adding a 4th-round pick with him. Let's see what Boston says. They say yes, so I mean, if Carlo can turn it around, it's a really good deal for us. So right here, guys, we're trying to get a huge trade with Arizona for Clayton Keller. Obviously a very good skilled winger, 82 overall right now, but his morale's down, so he could actually be higher than that. Hopefully he could turn into like a high 80 winger, basically replace Nyquist in the future. Trading them our 2021 first round pick, so it was just the 2019 draft, year coming up to 2020, then it's 2021. I'm hoping by then, 2 years from now, we'll actually be good. Kopaka here is like an okay prospect. He was scratched most of the year. Same goes for Niku. Like, we have so much depth in the AHL. I can easily move on from these guys, and they have decent value, so I actually don't mind just adding them for the extra value to hopefully make the trade go through, plus losing the contract. Carletto here we no longer need, as we have a new AHL backup, so we'll see what they say. Like, the value is at least double on our side. They want all 4 things. Is it enough to get Clayton Keller, though, is the big question. Let's see what they say. Trade accepted, so that is huge. And as you guys can see here, unfortunately, Duchesne rejected our offer, decided to go with the Dallas Stars instead. Says his goal is to win now, doesn't think the team can do that, so that kind of sucks. I was really hoping we would have got him, would have been a huge sign for us. Unfortunately, it just didn't happen. Even though we weren't able to get Duchesne, Jeff Skinner is still available. Comparing him to Nyquist, he's a couple years younger, only wants 100k more, so I feel like he's definitely the better deal. The good thing is our defense is solid, so we don't really have to worry about signing any defensemen, so I'm just going to try signing Skinner. Obviously, he'd be a good replacement for Nyquist. Let's give him like 7.25, 6 years till he's 33. That seems pretty fair. Skinner is usually very good in this game, so let's just wait and see what he says. Now, as you guys can see here, one of those two-way prospects accepted our offer. This guy's like 22, already 76. This defenseman here is like 2069 with TacTixHD, so I figure they're both pretty good, like cheap signings. Really interested to see though what Skinner says. Rejected, goals to win now, wants more money. Alright, let's see if we can do that. So right here, guys, trying to trade with Carolina to remove some cap. Trading Maroon and Helm. Maroon's getting paid 3.7. He's only 81 right now. Definitely not worth that. Obviously, his morale's down. Darren Hell's been on the team for a while, but I feel like he's going to start getting worse. And I feel like, you know, a little over $7 million for these two players, that could almost pay for Skinner in and of itself. So just a smart move, I think, especially with our AHL team being so good. We're going to have players making the jump to the NHL, in which case we don't really want these guys getting in the way or taking up that salary cap. Jake Bean here doesn't really have that much value, even though he's 21, 84 overall. So if we make this trade, we might have to trade Rowensky or Murray or maybe even just Jack Johnson and just kind of give like Murray and all those guys some more time, clear some cap. I'm not sure, but we'll see if they say yes to this for Bean. Trade ejected, but maybe if we add a little bit, they'll say yes. Alright guys, so try and get this trade to go through. I added this Dubé prospect. Pretty solid, but we have a lot of better forward prospects like Bracco, Spacek, etc. Also, I had this Picard guy we drafted last year, low 7th D, but they do want him. So we'll see if this is enough to get Jake Bean. It would be a huge trade. He's still on his entry-level deal for 2 more years. Here we go. Trade rejected. So maybe if we just add a bit more, I feel like we're just about there. 3rd round pick in next year's draft. I mean, we have 3/4. I think we can afford the 3rd. Please say yes. Trade rejected still. Let's try replacing Picard with like a player they want slightly more. Other than that, we're like pretty much just giving them everything I can at this point. Joki Harju we just signed, but if it gets the deal to go through, it gets the deal to go through. Here we go. Trade accepted, finally. Alright guys, so since we got Jake Bean, I figured we could probably put Murray on the top pair, and then Bean could go on the second pair where Murray was, which means we can trade Jack Johnson, who's got a good amount of value. We need a first-line center, so I'm trying to get Dylan Strome here from Arizona. Very good young center, 22 years old right now, already 87 overall. offering them Jack Johnson, obviously. Kulishov, we just drafted in the first round, but we have a lot of good young wingers and just good young forwards overall. I think we can afford to trade him, and then a third-round pick in next year's draft. Values on our side. Try to make another trade with Arizona here for another one of their good young players, but they seem to want like all these prospects and picks, so let's see if they say yes. And they do. That's awesome. So as you guys can see, we actually now have almost 22 million in cap space after trading away Helm, Maroon, and Jack Johnson. So more than enough to get Skinner locked up here. You want 6. I'm going to see if he'll take 8, say, for 5 years. A lot more than he wants. I mean, we have the cap space to afford it. Also, guys, I noticed after trading away Helm, the only natural center we have right now is Wenberg. So I'm going to sign Thomas Plekanec here. Even though he's 36 years old, just a 1-year deal to be our 4th-line center. I feel like this time next year we'll definitely have some like young players coming through, and for the 3rd-line center spot I might make it Athanasiou, and our 1st-line center I honestly might even make Sam Reinhart. So I feel like our team might actually be very solid next year, even though I did say that last year, so I guess we'll have to wait and see. Now as you guys can see here, Plekanec accepted our offer, so 81 overall, it's a solid 4th-line center, an upgrade from Fasca. Skinner rejected, wants more money, so I mean I'll still do that I guess. And as you guys can see here, Jeff Skinner finally accepted our offer. It ended up taking $9 million over 5 years. So I think that's pretty solid. We still have $11 million in cap space. 5 years, he's only going to be 32. He's 27 right now. Not too upset with that deal. Plus the cap's always going up, so we should be okay. So we're at the end of the summer now, guys, and I had a ton of players grow, so I don't need Plekanec anymore. He's actually gone down since I signed him. He was like a bottom 6, 82 overall guy. Now he's an AHL top 6, 80 overall. It's not even really the cap, just as much as I don't know, I'm taking up room for like other players to play in the AHL team. You're gonna see New Jersey will take him for a 7th. They do, so that worked out well. Alright guys, so here's a look at the team going into next season. I am very optimistic about this. I know I said that last episode, but I mean, you guys will see right here. First line of Skinner, Dylan Strome, and Sam Reinhart is absolutely stacked. Second line there, that should be Mantha playing with Wenberg and Larkin, so the same second line as last year. 3rd line here, this will also be changed up. I think it must have auto-corrected. We got Clayton Keller there with Athanasiou, who I've changed back to a center, as we needed a 3rd line center to replace Helm, with Daniel Sprong. So, I mean, that is a very skilled 3rd line, hoping for some big things from them. And then we have a pretty solid 4th line there with Grabner, Harkins, who was in the AHL last year, and Tyler Bertuzzi. I mean, it's a solid forward group. If Wenberg was like an 86, he just grew 1 overall, I think it would be pretty good. And I think Strome can definitely grow into like a high 80, maybe even 90. Defense here also looks really solid. We got Murray and McAvoy as the top pair, Trouba and Bean on the 2nd pair, and then Rowensky and Juleson there on the 3rd pair. And Juleson was just 83 overall, so I'm not sure why he dropped down 1. Goalies here, Murray starting with Binnington backing him up. AHL team's also looking really good. A bunch of prospects are coming through. First line, Svechnikov, Bracco, Ratty, Giovanni Smith, Spacek, Comtois there on the 2nd. We got Hischier, Morand, and Velarde on the 3rd, so a couple first-round picks there. And then we have Habertz, we just signed, with Vejdemo and Case on the 4th line. They're a bit higher overall, but their potential isn't as good, so basically giving the guys more potential, more ice time. Defense here is stacked for the AHL. Shabbat's an 83, but I mean, he's left-handed. He's the same as Rowensky, so I don't know if I should trade Rowensky or what. You guys can let me know. His role is a top 6, so really he should be playing in the NHL. We either have to trade Rowensky or Bean. I'm not sure. He could play like the wrong side instead of Juleson. We got even Caleb Jones is an 82. He's also a top 6. I think Green is as well. Carlo isn't though. He's an 80. Then we have Dermott and Sarah Harvey there on the bottom pair, which I mean, they'd probably be a top pair on most teams, AHL teams. Like our defense is just so good. Goalies, of course, the same there. Vavalainen back are starting with Lamb. Actually, is a new backup behind him. So I guess the backup there changed. But like I was saying, guys, this team is just so good. NHL and AHL team. Hoping for some big things. Hoping we can finally make the playoffs. Again, let me know what you think I should do with Shabbat. Who I should replace, whatnot. AHL team here, 84 offense, 86 defense, 80 goaltending. NHL team, 92 offense, 93 defense, 87 goaltending. So we'll see what happens. We made some big moves in the offseason. Hopefully they pay off, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, leave a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a nice day. Goodbye.